A big part of my self-improvement journey is when it came to habits. Pretty much the idea is if I got rid of some of the bad habits that was pulling me back and I implemented some of the good habits that would like push me forward, that would like really change my life. And I can definitely say that it has, but a problem I was facing early on is that I just couldn't implement the habits that I wanted to long term. Like they just wouldn't stick. I'd watch a YouTube video or read a book and I'd get inspired on some new habit to implement into my life, like meditating or gratitude journaling or something like that. And I would try to implement this habit into my life, but I just wasn't being as consistent as I should have been. All of it was just pretty much in my head and I would often forget. I found that by far compared to anything else I've tried, the times where I've been the most consistent and the most disciplined is when I've tracked the habits. When you track a habit, it goes from being all in your head to now it's on paper and now you can actually see, okay, well, this is how consistent I'm being. This is where my mess ups are. This is where I can make improvements, blah, blah, blah. And I think that really understanding the power of tracking your habits is super important. I guarantee you that if you haven't been tracking a habit, you have no idea where you actually stand in terms of consistency. And this has happened to me plenty of times as well. I remember for a while when I was trying to bulk, I was tracking my calories at first because I was like, okay, well, I need to start eating 3,500 calories every single day. But eventually I would start slacking off on the tracking and I'd miss some days. And at first I didn't think it was a big deal because I thought in my head I kind of knew how many calories or like how much food I should be eating within a day. But the truth is at that time, I wasn't gaining any weight. I was just at a standstill. My mind really did convince me that I was at a calorie surplus because every time I ate to a point where I felt like really full, but I still wasn't eating enough calories. The thing is, our minds are not designed to be perfect machines that are able to track everything and remember every single detail and know exactly like what we've been doing. It's impossible for anyone to remember every single detail of their life. That's why you need to start tracking your stuff. Because when you can literally see with your eyes, okay, this is how consistent I've been. This is how many times I've like actually done this habit. This is how well I've been doing. When you do this, your mind can't come up with these lies and like tell these stories like, oh yeah, we've been consistent enough. Like, yeah, we've been doing good. You need to have that hard objective data so you can actually start to improve. Now, there are many different ways and styles that people go about tracking their habits. Some people like have a full journal just for one habit. Some people have like one piece of paper where they just like have these check boxes. However you decide to go about actually tracking your habits, that's really up to you. But I found that from personal experience, it's a lot more effective if I use like pen and paper. Whenever I've tried to track my habits in like an Excel spreadsheet or like a Google sheet, I found that like I just wasn't consistent enough in it because like I have to go to my device, like click the checkbox or like write in there and it's just like I didn't really feel like doing it. But when I have a piece of paper hung up on my wall, or what I do now is I just have a ton of journals just on a bedside. And so whenever I walk into my room, the journal is already open, my pen is already there, so I can just like easily like write down the habit, say whether I did it or not. And I found that that's just a lot more helpful. I also think that using pen and paper is better because it brings just a little bit more awareness to it. Whenever I'm typing on like my phone or my iPad or computer, I've noticed for me, I can be a lot less aware when I'm doing those things. But when I actually have to write down with the pen and paper, I have to like be aware because it's kind of slow and I have to like kind of be looking at it and thinking about it, whatever. It really is up to you though and what works best for you. Just find a way that you can consistently track the habit that is important to you. Don't overwhelm yourself with this either. Just pick one goal that you have or one area that's really important to your life and just decide, okay, what is one habit that would really get me closer to where I want to be in this area of my life? If it's finances, you might write down on a piece of paper how much you're earning and how much you're spending every day. If it's your fitness, you might write down every day what workouts you're doing. If you want to start reading more, write down how many chapters or how many pages you read within a day. Whatever it is to you, just start tracking it. And once you have that data, once you have those numbers or whatever it is, now you can actually start to make those improvements. Now you have that objective data and you know, okay, this is where I actually stand. This is how consistent I'm being. Now I can make like this really small minor improvement and I can like get a little bit better. If you got some value from this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Keep improving and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.